What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Kate Bush, and we're going to go back to her 1980 album, Never Forever. I have to say, Wedding List is such an amazing tune. I've re-listened a number of times already. It really just is fantastic. And a number of people mentioned that, the way I was impressed by her, like, forceful, sort of aggressive kind of singing, that there's more of that coming on some tunes over the course of the 80s, so I'm looking forward to that. And again, it sort of speaks to what people have been telling me from the beginning, that her voice will evolve over time. Also, it spoke to the way in which I think some of the sonics, as we go into 80s Kate Bush, I've noticed a bit of a change. Still, my understanding is that there's going to be a greater change as we get to later 80s albums, but ultimately, I'm really enjoying this album, and that last track was absolutely stupendous. So, once again, big ups to Kate, big ups to all the people who are helping me through this journey and sort of indicating, what the songs are about, which a number of people have mentioned in a couple of recent Kate Bush reactions, that, it's really hard to try to speculate about her titles, perhaps even more than like other groups that you're listening to for the first time. And I absolutely understand that. I do realize there's a theatricality, there's a sort of artistic, like, aesthetic that perhaps is more careful and considered for Kate's music than some other artists. So again, at some point I really do like the idea, especially for the Kate Bush journey, to be able to do reactions to her music videos. Again, it's still up in the air whether, feasibly and conveniently, so that it's not stressful for me, but that if I can sort of change my configuration such that we can do that. But for the time being, as I said, I'm going to keep going through the audio reaction, so hopefully you're here for it. But the next tune following the Wedding List is Violin. In fact, as I see that, a couple people mentioned this track when I got to this album, that they were really looking forward to that. So now I'm in the moment, being increasing. My excitement has risen to another level. I will say, a single word title tends to be tough to read, but it's really interesting because I reacted to it's a whatchamacallit, Spandau Ballet, Mandolin. And that was about an instrument and the way, and it's sort of like sitting in this dark room and the passage of time and so on. And it was a really interesting take on what was, as I went to react to that track, a sort of opaque, unclear notion, which again, it was, single word titles are always like that for me, but that was such an interesting experience that now I'm wondering, like, how could a violin factor into a narrative that Kate would tell, which again, like, I expect there to be more moving pieces, I expect there to be emotions and sort of change over time. Just again, her songs are like full immersive story experiences, so I'm wondering how a violin will play into that. Let's find out. This is Violin by Kate Bush, and it's from her 1980 album, Never Forever. This is quite rocky. like, is this a Hendrix song? Like, what's happening? It's like bass pop a little bit too. This is unbelievable. Like, she went to another level. She's a mad genius, right? Like, it's brilliant. Like, it's like on the same level as Wedding List. That is insane. Like, number one, I was thinking when she was doing those like really high whip up sort of vocal moments, it's like, oh, it's sort of like Banshee like. And then I believe there was a reference to a Banshee like in the next verse. The song is like rocking, just, you know, it was giving me classic rock like Jimi Hendrix vibes. And her vocal performance, like her agility, the like control, it's just insane. Like, basically the Sonics are like going to another level, absolutely. And maybe not exactly as I expected, but that is actually a really cool development as well. Like, honestly, the last two tracks have just blown my mind, and I can't believe that there's been an implication that when we get to later 80s Kate stuff, it's gonna, you know, go off even more, be even more amazing. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm not sure I'm going to survive this Kate Bush deep dive. This is just incredible. So let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.